All right, good morning and welcome to another episode of Por la Mañana Café con Joel y por la tarde también. If you know Spanish, you know what that means. But anyways, I am blessed to have Ronald with me today, man. Ronald, welcome, man.
Thanks for having me.
Big time. Hey, listen, Café por la Mañana.
Cafecito.
Come on.
Salud.
Let's get it. I am blessed and excited to have you, man. We go back, man.
It's been a while.
But we go back.
Yeah.
We go back. I can easily say over a decade. You can say that?
Yeah, well over a decade.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. I remember it, you know. I remember
Oh gosh, here we go.
You know, I remember when you came to me and you were at Palm State.
Yeah.
And you came with Franklin
Yeah.
and Ariel for a workout with me, and you threw up.
I was done.
Never came back.
Never came back. That's literally the story that I was gonna share. I remember vividly coming to a workout, getting my butt kicked, and throwing up in the back, and I'm like, I'm never going back to that place ever again.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Well, but we're gonna pick up on that one later. But we want the audience to know, like, you know, Ronald Peña, man,
Yeah.
baseball player.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your bringing here in Palm Beach County and the connection to baseball.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, baseball runs in the family,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So tell me, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I obviously grew up in the area, born in New York, grew up here. My dad played professional baseball for a while. He was signed to the Pirates at one point. Then he played in the Dominican League, where he met my mom.
Okay.
Ended up playing professional in Mexico in that league for about 7 to 8 years.
Okay.
And from there, they transitioned to America, and that's where I was born. and
Did he
all
coach
that.
there too or no?
No, he didn't. No.
But did he coach at some point?
No, I mean he's coached like in high school and he coached at Palm Beach Central, and he's
Okay.
done lessons with some kids and things like that, but not coaching professionally, no.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, man, I started playing baseball at 4, and it's just in the blood, in the Dominican blood, as you know, just like Puerto Rico.
That's right.
And that's just what we do.
Okay.
And my dream was always to sign a professional contract and be able to play with the likes of the best players in the world, and thank God I was able to do that. Went to John I. Leonard, played well, went to play Division I baseball, then ended up at Palm Beach State, and from there is when I got drafted.
You got drafted. What year was that?
That was 2012
2012. With the Nationals.
to the Nationals.
You stayed with the Nationals
Yeah.
your entire career.
Yep, so I was there
Not that
for
many people
9
can say
seasons.
that.
Yeah, I know. Man, it was a blessing for sure to be able to say that, one, I got to live out my dream, but then do it for such a long time. Because what we've seen is so many guys, they come into the game and within 2-3 years, they end up getting released, and then they go and find a regular job, 9 to 5, and that was their career. But I was able to do it for 9 years with the Nationals, and then 1 more year in Mexico. I was able to spend some time over there, and then from there is when we hung it up, yeah.
We'll talk about retirement later. But then when we reconnect, because I remember it was in another local restaurant.
Yeah.
I saw you on the line about to order food or something like that. That's what I remember. And then we cut off for a little bit, and I looked at you. You said something about, you know, I think you were already playing pro for
Yeah.
probably.
I want to say that was 2016, I think. So I had just had a shoulder surgery, 2014, transitioned through some just battles coming back from that. I was with someone locally here training at their facility, and it just wasn't what my body needed at the time. And then that's when I saw you and we connected. You're like, hey, give me a shot.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, listen, sometimes you just got to tell someone, hey,
Yeah.
give me a shot.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I said. I look at your body and say, man, I guess that I can fix you, man.
Yeah.
Just give me a shot.
Yeah.
And we worked together for
years. Until I retired. To the end of it.
How fast were you throwing when you came to me, man?
So when I came, the hardest I had thrown was 20. 13, I had just hit 96.
96.
In a playoff game, adrenaline was just running hot. That was, going after it. And
96.
I hit that. And then after that is when shoulder surgery came. And then from there, we started working together about 2016.
Yeah.
And then from there, everything just took
So
off.
here's the thing. I remember that my goal, we start setting goals. And I remember saying, hey, next year, our goal is to stay healthy throughout the season. Remember we talked about it? And thank God, through training and all that, we were able to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And then the following year, say, okay, now we're going to put numbers.
Yeah.
And then you put great numbers.
Yeah.
I think you made the All-Star
Yeah. Back-to-back years.
Back-to-back,
Yeah.
and then you start doing well, and then just kind of escalating through the organization. But setting goals are important, but that's a topic for another day too.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's continue. So family,
Yeah.
you got
So
wife,
I have
kids.
married 2017 to my wife Cecilia, and then from there we have three kids. So Josiah is 5, Briella's 4, and Micah's 1. So we have a full house.
Full house. I remember when
Yeah.
the one behind the camera was 2. It's exciting, man. How do you juggle family and baseball? Because I know that you and Ceci, you guys go back to you guys been together for a long time, and at some point, she jumped into the wagon of being okay. I'm with a professional baseball
The baseball
player.
wife, yeah.
Baseball wife. Well, how do I do this, right? How do you guys, manage all that?
Obviously, as you know, owning a business, it's not easy, but you have to be intentional. Intentionality is key to all of this. And we were just very intentional with trying to spend time together, and even trying to put in good rhythms and in place for us as a married couple. And I'll even give you insight to one of them. Every night, what we would do is we would read a devotional or read a passage of scripture in the Bible, and then pray together every night before we went to bed. That was a rhythm that we made sure that we put in place, so we always were connected to the core of who we were and our identity and who we were,
That's so
apart
important.
from our marriage.
That's crazy. That's so important, though,
Yeah.
because the thing is, as a minor leaguer, you have nothing set in stone yet,
No.
and you decided to embark into the journey of marriage,
Yeah,
and it's tough.
it is tough.
It is tough, man.
A lot of late nights, early mornings, being away from each other, traveling constantly on a sleeper bus with no AC. Man, we can get into some crazy stories. But yeah, it wasn't easy. But
And no money.
No, man. That's the funny part. People think once you get signed, you're just loaded with all this money and it's an easy life, but it's not. You're grinding all the way till you get there. Yeah.
It is, man. But anyways, and after your career ended, you decided to jump into ministry.
Yeah.
How to help me, get the connection from baseball? Were you a believer growing up?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, so I grew up literally from the moment I can remember. I was running around a church. I was
Really?
running down the hallways, sleeping in the pews, Wednesday nights, Friday nights, Saturday
Okay.
mornings. My dad at one point
That's awesome.
was helping doing the landscape at the church, so
Okay.
I would ride my bike around the church and things like that. So I was always at church growing up, and that was just
you grew up in
part
the
of our
temple.
yeah, exactly. That was a part of our life growing up. And then once I transitioned out of baseball, went through some season of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And when I feel like the Lord called me out, I was like, all right, God, I want to do your will and what you're calling me to do. So please just let me know, because all I know right now is baseball. And from there, transitioned through a couple different jobs and things like that. But then the Lord opened the door for a job in ministry, and I've been doing that for almost 3 years now. And it's been, such a blessing to now see even my kids growing up, where they're running through the hallways of church and they're constantly with us. And my son's now talking about being baptized at 5 years old.
That's
so
awesome.
it's just super cool to see
awesome.
the full circle come back.
Do you and I probably know the answer to this question, but were you ever constant in your walk with the Lord, or there were a time that you kind of slipped away from your faith a little bit, or struggle with finding yourself, or mentally?
Yeah.
Did you at some point?
No, yeah, definitely, for sure. Obviously, I think it seems like it's a common theme in the next generation of for those that grow up in church and that know God, to then the world just come in and disrupt what God has been doing. And that definitely happened to me at one point. I was far from the Lord, and even though I knew who he was and I loved him, there was a season where I strayed away. But thank God, by the grace of God, he brought me back and was able to have a real encounter with the Holy Spirit.
Awesome, man.
And yeah, man, now we're here years later on fire, wanting to do just what he's calling me to do. And that's where I see myself going, moving forward, yeah.
So let's go back to baseball, man. Because that's the part that is intriguing when it comes to the sports training, right? We're talking about life and all that, but we're trying to connect the impact of the game and your mental health.
Yeah.
And how was the journey? Like, did you find yourself at some point struggling mentally? When did this happen and how it started? How did you identify it?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, growing up in the generation that I did, that was never really a thing that we focused on.
Like
Just go out there. Yeah, it was not, I mean, I grew up in the 90s. That wasn't a topic that was talked about. But I think now, in the day and age that we live now with the social media and the having access to as much things as we do have at our fingertips, it's become more of a topic of discussion. But for me playing now, I can think back to seasons like when I was going through my shoulder injuries, where my mind was just, man, you're not going to make it now. You're hurt. All these things. So I did definitely battle with some mental health things within myself. But the most prominent one that I can remember in my career was 2021. I was playing in AAA, and I'm going to be super vulnerable. We're just going to go there. 2021. And I vividly remember battling in my mind when they would call down to the bullpen, because I was a relief pitcher at the time. I vividly remember at times thinking, I hope they don't call my name.
Oh man, no.
Yeah, it's just real. It's just what I was feeling at that time. For whatever reason, the enemy had put these thoughts in my mind, and I would literally tell myself, it would ring. Oh, I hope it's not me. Just because the feeling within me, the butterflies, the nervousness, and the thought of, man, I don't want to mess up because I'm so close. And if I mess up, it could ruin everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. But here you are at that stage where that's what you dreamed, man, to be. And then at that point you're saying, I hope they don't call me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should have been the other way around.
Literally.
Right?
And that's the power of the mind, though. The mind plays tricks on you, and what you speak into yourself is what you start believing.
That's right.
You know?
Amen.
So even in that moment, while I was going through it, I didn't identify that it was a mental thing. But now looking back, I could realize, man, I was really going through it. But I didn't have the practical tools in place, and I didn't have someone speaking into that area of my life. So I wasn't able to overcome that in those moments. While I did still have success and all those things, but I still remember having those thoughts.
Do you think that was like what really opened the door to more negative thoughts? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you open the door to a thought that probably that was the thought. Man, I cannot believe that I even thought that. But probably started, I don't know, months ago, years ago with something smaller.
Yeah, definitely.
You understand what I'm saying? That sometimes we are aware of an issue that we think just started today, but it is the result or the sum, right, of many incidents, so
many
to speak,
little
or
things,
little things creeping in, and all of a sudden you become a negative person. As an athlete, it's brutal.
Huge. Yeah, and a thought that came into my mind now, because I visualize things. So a lot of people think that only good things grow, but that's not the case. Bad things can grow as well.
They're seeds.
And that's where I was going with it.
Yeah.
Not only, like I said, good things grow, but you think about a mold, it's bad, but it can grow.
Bacteria grows.
You know what I'm saying? So
multiply.
It can definitely multiply. So just like we work hard on the good things, and we process the good things, and we allow those things to grow, like muscles and in the weight room and things like that, when we allow a small thought, a negative thought, if we don't bring that thing to the light, we don't bring it to a mentor that we can help process those things and speak life into us as a person, those negative things are going to grow. Those negative things are going to continue to snowball, what we call a snowball effect. It's going to get bigger and bigger, and then it gets to a point where, all right, how did I get here? And you're like, where did that come from? It all stemmed from one small thing that we didn't nip right there. And it happened again and again and again. Yeah.
Did you feel like sometimes these negative thoughts or seeds, they multiply faster than the positive ones? Sometimes it feels like that to me.
Yeah.
I go, let's use the fitness for instance. You go and you work hard.
Yeah.
And man, in 6 weeks or 8 weeks, you start noticing just a little bit of something. You go like, man, I'm doing the right thing. Then you stop for a week and you come back and you feel like you have lost everything. Just because of a week. So it feels like it is hard to gain something that it is positive, right? In this case, but you lose it so quick. So using that analogy to think why I feel sometimes that the negative thoughts multiply faster than the positive one. It seems like it costs me to think positively. You know?
Well, I think our flesh is naturally
gravitates
towards that. Like our natural inclining as humans naturally gears towards the being pessimistic and negative and all those things.
Is it had a lot to do or some to do with media, the news, that everything we see is, we live in a horrible world. There's no good people out there anymore. It seems like everything is negative, so I feel like we gravitate. But I assume there's still good people out there.
No, definitely.
There's still good things happening that we don't know about. There's still people honoring God with their lives and their actions. So like I feel like there's good still happening, but we're so like, it seems like it's an avalanche of negativity. That has to do a little bit with it?
I definitely think so. I think that people are so ingrained in their mind of just seeing that negative, but your thought process that you have now and what you're saying that there's good in the world, that's a trained thing. We just like our muscles, like our biceps, like everything is a muscle that you have to train. The mind is something that we have to also train to get to a place where we're seeing things in a positive perspective. When things happen that go wrong, we're able to get past that quicker because we've trained our mind in a way that can get there.
Probably that's why Paul said, right, like, do not be conformed, right?
But be transformed by the renewing of your mind,
So conforming, that means that we're trying to like
fit a mold.
Shaping where everybody else is going or thinking. Interesting. So now to today, Ronald, because of your experience, now you are helping other athletes that have struggled with the same thing you and I did struggle. Because now when you were saying or sharing your story, I remember that when I was in college, there was a time in my life that I would be playing shortstop and I'll be I hope they don't hit the ball at me. And I remember that weeks went by and I was just feeding that thought. I said, man, I'm so excited to go play, but when I'm there, why am I thinking this way? And I remember that I have to give credit to this professor at school, man. Like, I shared with him what I was going through, and he gave me a book. I don't know what is this book. I treasured this book for years, and I remember that I gave it to someone, and I think I lost it. I've been trying to find this author. It was a sports psychology little pamphlet. I devoured that book in like a couple days, and I highlighted everything, from SMART goals. I started thinking differently, and man, and my life was transformed because I started changing my way of thinking, and I ended up my season. I mean, great, man, MVP of the season. I mean, I did well. So I knew that me changing the way I thought transformed my career at that point. So, saying that when you shared your story, I was like, man, that happened to me. But I thought that I was the only person who went through that.
And that's a thing that I identified within so many athletes, and even people that aren't athletes. They feel like they're the only person that's walking through this thing, so they're not willing to have a vulnerable conversation. It's until someone sits like this
And say, hey,
and
man,
they say, hey man, you know
I'm
what?
thinking like this.
I struggled back then, and I didn't have no one. I felt like I had no one to talk to, and I had no one speaking life into me. No one sharing their life experiences that they walk through, their struggles. But there's power in vulnerability. There's power in being open and sharing what we're walking through, because someone else has walked through that, and they'll be able to share some insight to allow us and help us to get past those things. Yeah.
So to pause real quick, if you're an athlete or just a person that is struggling right now in your career, make sure that you reach out. A mentor, a pastor, somebody that you trust, and tell them how you feel. That is the first step to healing. That is the first step to transformation, and probably that will change the trajectory of your athletic career. So I feel like people need to hear this. So tell me a little bit about your company now and what Cohere Performance stands for, values, and what are you trying to do here in Palm Beach County and beyond.
So Core Performance was something that, I started just based off seeing just the next generation of athletes walking through so many mental struggles and so many things that they're not speaking about and processing. So Core stemmed from that. The name comes from Romans 8:17, where it says that we're co-heirs with Christ.
Okay.
And that's my foundation. That's who I am. I'm a co-heir with Christ. I'm a son of the Most High God. So I want to just help other athletes understand who they are. That's the first thing that I'll always walk through these young athletes with, is their identity first, is who they are at their core. Even if they're a young kid that doesn't have an understanding of who God is, that's perfectly fine. But I still want them to know who they are at their core. I want them to be able to understand the truth of who they are. And then from there, we'll get to places where we'll put some good preparation in place, some good mental practices and tools.
So there's a plan.
Yeah, there's a plan. There's a plan.
Just like in our industry, right? Like I take you, I do an evaluation, an assessment, see what's working, what passes, what doesn't, and then correct it.
And then we go from
there. And then mobility, and then periodization and all that stuff. So you guys have a step-by-step process.
There's an intake profile. From there, I'll identify the strong points, and we'll speak into that, because we definitely want to make sure that we're not tearing people down. We're building them up. So we're going to speak into the strengths, but then we're also going to attack those things that are growth areas.
Okay.
Because we also want to, at times I feel like terminology of how we speak also speaks to the person as well. So that's why I think through the growth areas that we can help you grow in. Not, hey, you're not good at this area, so you need to do better. No, we're going to speak in a way that is speaking life, that encourages you to want to grow in that area. So I'm going to help you think right, I'm going to help you prepare right, and then we're going to help you compete right.
And this is something that it could be, I can have access to this online, or this is in person. How does this work?
So cohereperformance.com is the website. From there, the athlete can take that assessment. Okay. And then from there, it'll be a phone conversation following that. And then there's in-person, there's Zoom, there's so many different avenues.
There's ways.
We live in a digital world now, so there's many ways that
there's a will, there's a way.
We can make this happen. But the point is to just do it.
Okay.
This is what I realized. Everyone has a hitting coach. If we're talking about baseball, everyone has a pitching coach. Everyone has a base running coach. If you're talking about football, everyone has a tackling coach.
Like a skill coach.
There's a skilled coach for every sport, every position, every different aspect of the game. But where the next generation is lacking is the mental side. There's not many coaches that are walking alongside of these young athletes, helping them prepare their mind and grow that brain muscle, let's say, in these young athletes.
Man, it makes me think, and this is a question that I've had for years, and I still share it, and I understand where this question comes from.
Yeah.
But it's the whole 90-10 question.
Yeah.
When we were told, and I think still today, coaches says, remember, the game is 90% what?
Mental.
And 10 skills.
Yeah.
But we spend 100% of our time
100%.
working on our skill.
Yeah.
With 0% on the mental. So leading to what we see today.
Yeah.
Which is athletes struggling with negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Not
Comparison,
maximizing their potential.
Everything, yeah.
They're comparing to other people. They don't have identity. They don't have. They want to be somebody else instead of themselves.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. So I feel like having a mental coach is as important as having a physical coach or a sports skills coach. You know.
Yeah.
Because kids are. I'm telling you, and this is for all my coaches out there too. Like, always find an opportunity to impact your athletes beyond what you're doing. In my case, if I'm a physical preparation specialist, then I want to make sure that I always look for ways and moments when I'm impacting the mental side of my athletes, right? Because the athletes, sometimes they come, especially if you deal with female athletes. I had this athlete come to me the other day, and you know, coming from school, and some of these athletes, they have everything, man.
Yeah.
They have everything. And they come in, oh, coach, I'm just having such a horrible day. And I look at her and I say, all right, it would be a really bad day if we'll be dead.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you're alive, there's hope.
There's hope.
So let's change that mindset. Let's go. And then she stopped. She kind of stumbled because she didn't realize that I was going to have a comeback like that. It was a strong comeback, right? Like, talk about that, you know?
Yeah.
And she goes, you're right. She had a great session after that. And I think we always got to look for ways to impact.
Yeah.
Definitely. To impact our generation, our generation of athletes in that way.
Yeah.
So, man, take note of that. So, the assessment on the website, this is something that it is free, has a cost.
So it's a free assessment. It'll walk you through different stages of your personal life, your athletic life, the way that you think when you struggle within the game. And then out of that, I'll get those results and I'll put a plan in place for each athlete specifically, tailored to where they are in their mental performance. Okay. And then we walk them through either in 8 weeks or 12 weeks. And then from there, we stay connected and things like that. That way, you're always having connection point and we're able to walk through those things. And then so throughout the week, we'll meet once a week or once every 2 weeks. We'll have dialect. I'll give you some homework.
So it's a program.
It's a program. It's a program. Just like they do in the weight room, this will be a mental program that I walk them through. They'll have quote unquote homework that they have to work through throughout the week.
So there's accountability as well.
Yeah, there's accountability that we'll have put in place and things like that to make sure that they're actually putting in that work. Yeah.
That is awesome, man. I'm proud of you, man. I'm super proud of you. Big time. Hey, I think we had a good conversation the other day, and we'll land the plane with this because I feel like we had such a great conversation in the office the other day when we were planning this about our athletes, right? And then I think you posted something about you nailed it with the content that you posted right away after.
Yeah, but expectations.
The expectations, and it was based on the situation we had in the gym where, you know, I brought out a volleyball and asked this athlete, hey, what do you see when you see this? Like, do you get anxious or do you get excited? When you see that Vertex, you know, that little touching for height device, you know, do you feel anxious or do you feel excited about, oh, I'm going to touch the last little stick, I'm going to touch 10? And to my surprise, it's anxiety for the most part, for most of them. So, you know, the mental struggle is a real situation. But the thing is that kids are not talking about it.
They're not talking about it. And like I said we talked about it and I said in that post, there's an expectation that these athletes have that they were not meant to carry. They weren't meant to have these things placed on them, because it's not them. God never gave them those expectations. But because of what we see now in social media, where there's one kid out of a million that's jumping 10 feet and
11, 12.
11, 12. So now you're around the same height and these things, and you're not there. So hold on, why are you not doing that? This person's doing it. Why are you not doing it? There's an expectation that these kids
That doesn't belong to you.
That doesn't belong to you. These kids are placing it on themselves. But that stems from not having an identity.
And they can have everything else right. They might be playing their game right. They are
But because of this one expectation,
one thing.
It derails the whole train per se.
Isn't that crazy?
But that's the power of the mind.
That's the power of the mind. Man,
And the power of an expectation and words that are spoken over each other.
And sometimes it goes back to the parents.
Yeah.
Right? After a game, parent goes in the car and start nailing the kid instead of saying, "Hey man, we lost, but
Man.
I enjoy watching you play."
Yeah.
You know, it's like, "Hey, what happened in that play? You
Yeah.
should have done this. We'll be talking about this. We talk about this all the time." And then what do you think the athlete is gonna feel? Like garbage.
They're already feeling like garbage, and that's the thing.
Yes.
They're already not feeling good. They know that they should have got that done, but now they're getting an earful on the car ride home, which is one of the worst things that a parent can do. Is that car ride home, those conversations, that's going to mold and shape a lot of these athletes. And it is molding and shaping
Yes.
this next generation of athletes,
Sometimes-
is that car ride home.
Yes. Who doesn't want to talk about what just happened right after? Like, meaning, for example, if you're, let's bring it to a really simple just situation. The corporate world,
Yeah.
8 to 5. Do you think you want to go home and talk to your wife about? No,
No way.
You leave you don't want to talk about work,
No.
man. You want to go home and be with your family.
No.
Same thing with these athletes. They're done with the game. Let's try to
Yeah.
I don't know, like wash that away with something else, and let's talk about it later. Not now. Not right after. Something happens to me too when I'm at work and I go home. Like I'm the kind of person I tend to bring work, home.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
It is like, not today.
I don't
We're
want to
not
hear
doing
anything
this.
about 1822. And then
Yeah.
she had definitely taught me
Yeah.
that, man. Praise God for our wives, bro.
Praise God. Praise God. But what I was going to say is that car ride should be a safe space for these kids.
Come on now.
That should be a space where they're able to take the mask off and be with their mother, their father, whoever is picking them up, and be able to just be them.
And if they want to vent, let them.
Let it out.
Let them. And
That
then
should
you
be their
listen.
safe space.
Right?
Yeah. So that's just a challenge to the parents, as you guys are taking your athletes home and they've had a tough day, even a good day. Allow them the space to just be kids. At the end of the day, they're kids.
Sports is just a vehicle, man. Am I still playing? No. Are you still
No.
playing? No.
No.
It was just a vehicle, and we learned a lot in the process.
Learned a lot, and it's
You know?
And I even think for me, baseball, and I think about my dad on the car rides home. He never shamed me into why you didn't make this play. It was the complete opposite, man. I felt so secure.
That's
on
awesome,
my
man.
worst days, I felt so secure getting into that car.
So what we do
knowing
matters.
that my dad and my mom they loved me because of who I was, not because of my performance on the field. It had nothing to do with that.
You're their son before you're a baseball player.
So I always
You
had
understand?
an understanding of who I was, because my performance was not tied to my worth
And these kids, they find their worth
in their performance.
in their performance, in their
in the
sports,
accolades,
the accolades.
in the praise of their coaches and their peers because of how well they excelled in the game. But that's what co-ed performance looks to strip down. I want you to understand who you are at your core, what your identity is, and then from there we're gonna build it up.
Now, before we close, because I just want to ask this. How did I do, man, with you when it comes to those things when you were in
You
the
did
gym?
great. Well, that's why I stayed there as long as I did, because
Okay.
the weight room stuff was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
I was able to throw
think
harder.
we got good
I was able
experience.
to get stronger physically.
You ended up hitting triple digits.
Yeah, I was able to, by the grace of God. I don't know how that happened.
Come on, you know.
Grunting and farting. But I was able to hit triple digits with my fastball. But most importantly, man, the words that were spoken over me at 1822 Fitness constantly were just encouragement, were words of truth and of love.
Relationship for life.
Relationship for life. Now we're here years later and we're still able to connect, still able to have good conversation and dialogue. So
what we do matter, man.
What we do matters. What we do matters. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, man, I know we can talk about this
we can be here all day.
Forever. But I want to thank you, and I want to thank Pam Bakery for providing coffee and for allowing us to come into their business.
Yeah.
They're here in close to 1822, actually, in Military and Summit.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you come in and tell them that Joel sent you here. And come enjoy good food and good coffee with good company and having good conversations. So Ronald, man, once again, thank you. We got to do this again for sure.
For sure.
I want to bring an athlete next time because I want to see how they're thinking nowadays. I want to see how they're tackling this situation. I want to hear what's your to-go action. What do you do when you struggle?
Yeah.
You know. Because we can talk about our stories. I'm way older than you, but then your story, but then how are the kids now there thinking?
Yeah.
Maybe they go like, they don't care. Or probably they go, oh no, I didn't want to say this, but I struggle 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, which I think are most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them, they don't want to talk about these things.
Yeah.
You feel weak when you talk about these things. You feel like you are not in control. But I think that's a problem. When you're trying to...
It's opposite. There's strength in that.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Great stuff. So, hey, thank you for watching another episode of Por la Mañana Café with Joel and Por la Tarde también. We want to drink coffee in the afternoon as well. So, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you, Ronald, man. Appreciate you.
Brother.
Big time.
Boom.